That was a good start, wasn't it? Morning. It's sometime after 4 a.m. I'm doing my usual getting up too early bit again. Back to normal. I saw an amusing thing that a good friend posted. Hi, Sharon. And that is, before we work on artificial intelligence, why don't we try and work to do something about natural stupidity? Bing. Thus why I'm doing this. I'm not going to suggest a solution, at least not a workable, pleasant one. Enough said about that. But coffee. I will give you my thoughts on the subject. Careless, sometimes reckless stupidity seems to be a defining trait amongst human beings. Has been for thousands of years. Only 3,000-4,000 years ago, casual, reckless stupidity got far more people killed, therefore far less stupidity remained in the gene pool. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to touch that subject any further either, but you know what I mean. Yet again, I'm not suggesting any kind of solution. Yeah, dangerous territory. But, but governments these days, they do, and companies, they mollycoddle people. And companies and governments are using AI in a way that people do not want them to do it. To tie up the two subjects, AI. Another quote that I've seen that I do like is the fact that we don't want AI creating so-called art or writing so-called stories, which, in my opinion, both of those things, they're not art. Art is created with the soul of a human being behind it. It may be flawed, but it's art. And this is what companies are pushing. No, AI should be there to do the humdrum, shitty, boring, soulless, soul-destroying work that a lot of human beings are forced to do for minimum wage. And they are just miserable. Well, I'll be honest, I'd prefer, and I did for a while, I prefer to do a job. Not that it's likely I'll ever actually officially work again. I would prefer to do a job that paid minimum wage, but I was at least content with, than I would a job where I earn 30, 40k a year, but it makes me effing miserable. So many people don't see that. I mean, firm I used to work for, the mentality was so much focused on greed, I think would be the easiest way to put it. And I put this next theory to someone, and yet it confused them. But most people get it. And that you'd have people there that would happily work an extra 6 hours, 14-hour shifts. An extra 5, just about, I think. So they could save up, take their family on holiday twice a year, somewhere really exotic and expensive. And I'm thinking, yeah, but all that time you're spending there to save up for the holidays is time you could be spending, taking little trips out with your family, having special dinners in the evening because, you've got home just before, 5 o'clock or something, and you chilled out and you decide, well, I had an all right day, I'm relaxed. Let's get a board game out and play with the kids or something like that. I know life isn't like that, but one of those moments that a child and possibly a partner will relish because it's spontaneous. And maybe this is why this person who I was talking to about this didn't get it. Maybe they just need to plan everything, which is totally not my bag. What's planning is something I often say to people when they bring up planning of some description. I'll drop it in the conversation when they hear someone's planning something. And it's the truth. I don't like planning, especially when it involves other people. Because other people, even your friends, can be so unreliable. And the autistic ADHD side, this comes from the book by that Ellie woman, Autism Unmasked, in that she was with a partner. They were in a pub watching football, I think. She didn't like football, but she'd compromised to sit in the pub with him and watch a football game with him. And from what I remember, it went like this. She'd said, well, after the game, shall we get the train back to mine? He'd said, well, yeah, okay, we'll get the train back to yours after the game. And then game finishes. He's having a laugh with his mates. She turns around and says, right, should we go then? He's like, oh, I think I'm going to stay a bit with my mates if that's all right. And she felt really hurt by that. She realises that human beings change their minds, but her ADHD autistic brain is like, well, you said you'd do this. You said you'd do this. And I feel betrayed and hurt. And this I understand very much so. It's something I have to cope with, and it gets very difficult at times. And AI makes this even more frustrating. From unexpected item in the bagging area to chatbots. That was a good one I had a while ago. I gave Barclays Bank a really shitty Google review. And a chatbot that obviously handles their first line of customer service because they can't be bothered to let one of their prissy bank people actually deal with a customer, especially not a shitty penniless one like myself. And this chatbot got back to me, and the very first thing it said was, "Dear Amelia." That just about summed it all up for me. I think they may well be creating artificial stupidity, and we don't need artificial stupidity. There's plenty of natural stupidity. Like the lads outside where I work in what I would call the posh end of town that they show in the brochures, the video tours of Ipswich. It's just the waterfront and Silent Street, and that little area with the eclectic shops and the cafes and restaurants and stuff. They don't pan along past the tramps on Norwich Road, And well, I clocked 3 teenage boys hanging about by a scooter. So one of them had actually travelled there by scooter, right by the Thomas Wolsey station. They looked out of place. Normally, those kind of people just move on through, because it's an area of town, because it brings in tourists, where the police are going to be far more active than, say, top end of Norwich Road, or any area of Norwich Road, to be quite honest. And hands were fumbling and exchanging things. And I thought, hey, I recognise the sign. I see it often enough around where I live, where the police don't do anything about it, because minutes later, a police patrol car stops. I don't know whether they were being watched on CCTV or whether a passerby saw what was going on. I don't know what they were dealing or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, she was beginning to search. First one, then the other, and it looked like it came around to the last boy's turn, and he did a runner. He went like Usain Bolt, that's the one, the world champion sprinter. He shot off like a bat out of hell, and any other colourful phrase you wish to, employ there. And I was like, what? And after the two of them had disappeared off, the scooter was still there. But after the two of them had disappeared off, I went over and chatted, because there was another police officer was there as well, and he had the blue gloves on. And she was like, oh, it's all right. I mentioned the fact that he went off, and she was like, yeah, he was like, beep, that cartoon character, beep, beep. And I went, oh, Roadrunner, yeah. And she's like, that's all right. I've got him on CCTV. They're closing on him right now. I was like, good on you. So I think that young lad might find himself getting a bit uncomfortable. Yes, well, I think he found himself getting a bit uncomfortable yesterday afternoon. And they should really, it was stupidity on their part. It's an area of town that's covered by CCTV, and that the police are going to be very active in order to keep tourists and the reputation of that area of town safe. I don't give a shit about drug deals being done around my area, or anywhere else in Ipswich for that matter, but that bit, the brochure part of Ipswich, yeah. So it was really stupid of them. I mean, they're only kids, but come on, have a little common sense, boys. But I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, with this whole stupidity situation. Is the fact that companies and governments mollycoddle us more these days what has led to the natural growth of stupidity? Or, dear me, excuse me, still a bit snotty. Or Have companies and governments evolved to cope with the rise of natural stupidity? That's a tough one. I mean, if you think you've got the answer, comments below. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And if I have anything further to add, I might do a short because I'm now feeling very philosophical, which is never a good thing, and I'm not even drunk. Bye for now.